In this often dry period for gaming news and video games in general in the middle of the year, I take any chance I can get to jump on some exciting news, no matter how realistic it seems or how plausible it is. And that's exactly what I'm doing today, because we've got some interesting stuff to talk about regarding Naughty Dog's potential future IP. It goes without saying this stuff is of course all rumors and speculation for the most part. It's all been put up on 4chan, which is a site that is notoriously sketchy and really, I don't know if it has all that much credibility in the industry at this point, considering it does seem to be kind of known, at least from my experience, to be the place where all fake leaks surface. But I think it has had also some real things in the past. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But this has been making the rounds for a few days now, and I thought, hell, let's talk about it, because regardless of whether or not it's true, it's certainly interesting. So what the hell am I on about? This dude on 4chan named Cheelhole, I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce that, he's revealed some possible information around Naughty Dog. According to him, there was a meeting that took place where a secondary team of Naughty Dog revealed a new IP they've been working on that will end up, of course, being a PlayStation 5 game. Let me read to you some of the stuff that he's talking about here. And warning, I don't know if this guy's the best speller in the world, but anyway, during the meeting, a secondary team of Naughty Dog official reveal for the first time is work for a new original IP under development for the next generation PlayStation to the Sony marketing managers. The final name of the IP is yet to be decided, and the progress of the game is still far away from being concluded, as one would expect. At the moment, the code name of the project is Strays Cross. This will be an action-adventure game in first person with steampunk elements, and it will have two protagonists, a former female scientist and a wanted criminal man. The plot is about a secret conflict that lasted entire ages and how this will lead to the inevitable ruin of human society. And the story begins with a casual meeting of the two protagonists in completely different circumstances, who will soon find themselves having to work together to get what they are looking for. The fact that Naughty Dog would want to kind of go in a more sci-fi-y, seemingly steampunky kind of direction makes sense. That is a logical step to take for a studio that hasn't really explored that before. But that could also be a factor that contributes to it being fake, because it does, like I just said, seem kind of obvious, so it makes sense for someone to also make that up. I think the idea of Naughty Dog doing a first-person game is really, really interesting, and probably the most interesting part about it, because, like I said, the sci-fi steampunk kind of stuff, you know, that seemed like an obvious direction, but the first person element is really, really out there. It's definitely not a safe bet to say that Naughty Dog's next game after The Last of Us Part 2 would be first person. I mean, they've never made first person games at all, so that is quite an interesting leap for them, especially now these days where their bread and butter is known to be third-person action-adventure games, and of course story-driven linear experiences. And from the sounds of it, this thing still sounds like it was probably going to be linear, or it would probably be linear. So I don't know if it would necessarily lose that part of Naughty Dog's identity. I certainly hope to God that it's not an open-world game, because honestly, the last thing I want to see is Naughty Dog do an open-world game. They've proven time and time again that they're so good at these contained experiences. I don't want to see another open world game. We get far too many of them. Regardless, there's no indication here that it's an open world game, which is cool, and I'm hesitant towards the idea of first person as a whole. I think Naughty Dog do that third person action adventure genre so much justice. They do a fantastic job with those games, and they've proven that those games that they make in that genre are masterpieces. So look, I'm open-minded. I don't want to say that if they do first person it's going to be trash or anything necessarily, but it's certainly out there for them, and I hope if this is true, or if they do decide to go first person for their next project, I do hope that they do so because they feel they're able to bring something new to first person from a gameplay or some kind of mechanical perspective, or even from a storytelling perspective perhaps. I hope they bring something new to it is what I'm trying to say. If they're just like, yeah man, let's do first person because we don't normally do that and why not? I mean, that sounds kind of weird to me. But I trust Naughty Dog, and I have faith that if they were to make a bold choice such as first person, that they would only do it if they feel it would service the final product. The plot about the conflict that's been occurring for ages, that's gonna be ruining human society or something like that. It doesn't sound post-apocalyptic, but we've seen that kind of end of the world stuff plenty of times in games, so that's not wholly original. And of course the fact that it apparently has 2 protagonists obviously gives you major Last of Us vibes. As for the name Stray's Cross, that's a weird code name. That's almost so weird that I don't really understand where someone would kind of make that up from, you know what I mean? It's so bizarre and out there, and it doesn't seem generic at all that I don't know why someone would make up that name. I mean, look, it's obvious that Naughty Dog is going to be, right now at this point in time, working on that new IP, working on their next project after The Last of Us Part 2. That's obvious. The whole team, everyone in that studio is not working on The Last of Us Part 2. There's clearly this kind of pre-production stuff is happening. Whether or not this stuff is real about this game called Stray's Cross, I've got no idea. To be honest, I would probably think that it's not real. And to be honest, just the fact that it's coming from 4chan, it makes you just think immediately, well, this kind of screams of bullcrap. So, if this individual who's posted this crap on 4chan has completely fooled us all, I mean, look, congratulations to you, mate. You've done your job. We're all talking about this fake crap you made up. But if this is what that new Naughty Dog IP, that new project that they're working on is, then it's super interesting to think about what the future of the studio is, the direction that they're going in, and especially that first-person element as well. But regardless of whether or not this specific information is real, I'm sure whatever that next IP that Naughty Dog is working on, whatever the next PS5 game is going to be for them, I'm sure it's going to be great. It's obviously just hard to get excited for something that's probably not going to be heard about, or we're probably going to get no information regarding it for the next 3 years, honestly. Anyhow, I'm going to try and get this video up before it's confirmed this leak is fake within the next few hours. Let me know your thoughts on this new premise for a Naughty Dog game in the comment section down below. If you're new around here and you like this video and you want to see more, check out some other content I've got on the channel and subscribe if you like what you see. This has been SirCazz. Farewell.